Okay, so in today's video we are going to be talking about how I went from 4:31 in the marathon down to 3:19 in just under 2 years. I'm down in Jordanstown, just about 20 minutes away from my home, and I'm going to go for a run along the coast with my dog, and we're going to have a wee chat along the way. Okay, so it seems my battery is like super low. I don't know how it's going to hold on for. So 3 mile warm up just done, and now I have 10 times 1.5 minutes or 90 seconds at 5k pace. Yesterday I done a cross country race which went absolutely horrendous. Went out at 6:40 pace, couldn't hold it, heart rate through the roof, got the worst stitch I've ever had running, and it was just an absolute disaster. And today, 24 hours later, I feel amazing. Even my Garmin watch is telling me that whatever that measurement as it gives you +4 today, but I was -4 yesterday, so I don't know, does that mean anything? I know I had a few days of horrendous sleep. Okay, so 10 times 90 seconds at 5k pace, which I'm hoping is around 6 minute per mile pace. I'm going to try and go for about 5:50 or 5:55 and try and hold that for 90 seconds each time. I'm going to do 10 of those. Problem is I have the dog with me, Murphy's with me, and can he run at that pace? Well, of course he can run at that pace. He's a Cocker Spaniel. So let's get this done. The real topic of today's video obviously is how I got from a 4:31 marathon down to a 3:19. I'm going to talk more about that later. I'm going to get this run done and then we'll go back into the office later on and talk about that, because it's just too much to try and do here with my phone, because I had the GoPro and all with me. I have my main camera, but I want to get this running while I have time today, and I can sit down in the office later and talk about what we're going to talk about. So let's get this done. This dog can run. So first 3 reps done, 5:30 per mile. This wee dog just keeps going. I actually think I done the last one a bit too quick. I looked down and I was at 5:10 pace, so I just slowed off a wee bit. It's amazing how you can feel so bad one day and so much better the next. Like, I have a spring in my step today. Not as much spring in my step as my dog does. If you want a dog to run with, get a Cocker Spaniel. I was doing those 90-second reps at between 5:20 and 5:30 per mile, and that dogs are just out in front of me. So maybe they should hold a dog marathon. Maybe that'd be cruel, I don't know. It's not cruel. This dog would run all day. Murphy. Like, I'm trying to take a rest for 60 seconds and he's trying to get into the hedges. Okay, next one to go. Let me give you a wee bit of a backstory. So I started running in 2021, I think it was the end of January, and really what I wanted to do was lose a wee bit of weight. I was about, I would say, 3.5 stone overweight, and running to me was something that I always would have loved to have done, but I just don't feel like I was, don't I say I wasn't good enough to do it, but I never thought I could get fit enough to do it. I thought my legs were always too sore to do it. I tried to do it a number of times over the years and usually failed within a month or two of starting. I think I got into running for a few weeks to maybe a few months whenever I was at university, but it didn't last that long, and I always ended up with some sort of a pain, whether it be in shins or taking stitches or whatever. Growing up as a kid, I just I really struggled with fitness. I always remember being out on bikes with friends, and if we got to a hill, I was the one that always wanted to get off and walk. I was never really good at pushing myself. And I think fast forward over years, maybe I was able to push myself. Maybe I'm able to push myself more now because of just the things I've been through in life. And yeah, I think you toughen up a wee bit as you get older. So I spent a good 11 years after I left school, so from the ages of 16 until 27, really abusing my body with alcohol and drugs. And over those years, I didn't believe that I would make it to 30 years old. I was just in a real bad way, and you know, what seemed like good fun at the time, and I suppose to all my friends, I was just having good fun, but inside I was just like, I just hated the person I'd become. And I became a Christian when I was 27, and at that time I asked God to help and change me, and I stopped drinking, smoking, taking drugs, all in the same day more or less, and I haven't touched anything since then. I'm now 42, and yeah, praise God. So after I got married when I was 30, I spent the next 10 years just working hard and eating hard, really. That's the only way I can describe it. And coming into lockdown, I tried to lose a wee bit of weight, and although successful for a few weeks, I hit it hard again in terms of eating and put a lot more weight on. Coming into 2021, I decided now is the time that I am going to start running and get fit and lose some weight. I suppose this time getting stuck into it was, my head was just in it, and I spent a couple of months running easy-ish. Yes, I was struggling, but I wasn't doing any mad paces. I was trying to get 5k done 3 times a week, and I pushed through a lot of pain, but through time that turned into being able to run 10k, and as the year went on, I just was running a wee bit more and more, and then my wife bought me a marathon ticket, and that was for the October. So I found a training plan online and followed that as best as I could, hit that marathon thinking that I could run sub 4, and ended up coming in at 4:31. And although I was happy that I completed my first marathon. I just got the bug, and I knew that I could do a lot better. So that was it really. I went on to a journey of how do I get faster. And the following January, which was 2022, I had really sore shin splints, and went to see a physio, and it was him that told me about 80-20 training. And whenever I started doing that over the next few months, I did notice myself getting faster. And my goal then was the next marathon, which was Belfast Marathon again in May 2022, and that was going to be my attempt at sub 4. Now, I trained as hard as I could. I done some speed sessions. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I trained hard, and I came in at 3 hours 59 minutes and 46 seconds. Now, just around, I think it was about a week before that marathon, I took my friend's advice, who has a coach, a guy called Gary O'Hanlon from Dublin. He had been coaching him for a number of years, and I decided that I would sign up with him. So that was May 2022, and yeah, that's 2.5 years ago, and I've been with the same coach since. He really helped me, especially over that first year. He really helped me get faster, and I done Dublin Marathon about 6 months after I signed up with Gary as a coach. Now, that was a bit of a failure of a marathon. I went for a sub 3:30 attempt. I don't know, I think I just went out too hard, and I wasn't feeling great on the day, but I ended up coming in at 3 hours 46 minutes. 3 hours 44 minutes maybe it was, I'm not 100% sure. And I was so frustrated after that marathon. I wanted to get that sub 3:30 so much, and I just went straight back into training the next couple of days after, and trained hard over the winter. And then my next marathon was then April or May, can't remember the month, of 2023, Belfast Marathon again, and I properly put in the hard work for that marathon. I slept well, my nutrition was good, and I went for a sub 3:30 attempt, and I came in at 3 hours and 26 minutes, and I don't want to say comfortably. I did feel like I was pushing on, but I didn't struggle the whole marathon apart from the last couple of miles. I was feeling it then. It's the only marathon I have done where I haven't had a walking stint, and yeah, I felt incredible after that. So then, straight back into another marathon block. The plan was April 2024 that I was going to do Manchester Marathon, and I was going to go for sub 3. I really felt that after a good training block I would have been able to do that. The coach, gave me the proper training. I actually felt really good coming up to it, but I would say about a month before I realised that I wasn't in sub 3 shape and I was going to shoot for somewhere between 3:05 and 3:10, which to me felt absolutely doable. Like my marathon pace on the long runs was 7:10, 7:15 per mile, and on marathon day I went out and felt okay for the first, I would say, 6-7 miles, and then I started getting a pain in my right leg. Whenever I say pain, I mean my right leg went kind of dead, and I just realised that, you know, it was probably just a build-up of lactate. I think my legs just went absolutely dead. I felt like my fitness was there, but the sub 3:10 marathon just wasn't on, and I ended up having a couple of small walking stints in that marathon, and I felt horrendous from about 14 miles. And I remember my watch was doing like auto, whatever you call it, you know, it was bringing the miles up. It was showing me my miles after, it was showing me my splits after each mile, and I don't know what the watch was doing. It started firing crazy numbers at me, like mile 21, and I thought it was mile 21. Whenever I looked at the sign at the side of the road, it was at mile 18, and that just completely threw me. I had an absolutely horrendous time the last few miles of that marathon. But what I will say is, I haven't missed a week's training. You know, I hear of people like falling in love with running and then getting out of the way of it and getting back into it. I haven't felt that. Now, I've only been running for 3.5 years, but I have put my all into training, and, you know, now's the time. Sorry, I should say that Manchester Marathon, I ended up coming in at 3:19 and was so disappointed with that time. But, you know, on reflection, like, I've went from 4:31 to 3:19 in 2 years. You can't be bad for that. So what has helped me? I would say the biggest thing for me is just putting the hard work in, but also losing the weight. I've lost just over 3 stone over the last 3 years. It's been a very gradual process. I do struggle with my diet in terms of, like, I enjoy my food. I don't know why I say I struggle, like, I enjoy my food, and I can only do short stints of like dieting. Like, I've only really ever done it for 6 weeks or so, and then I just go back to eating normal. I have been through periods where I've ate far too much while I was running, and, you know, thinking that because I'm running and I can eat whatever I want. But losing the weight over the last couple of years especially has helped me move forward with my paces. This last sort of year I haven't progressed as much as I should have because of just getting into life, really. We had another baby and I've been very busy at work, and yeah, but that brings me on to now. So next spring I'm going to do another marathon, and it would be my absolute dream to break 3 hours then. I don't know if I will be able to do it or not. I'm going to try my hardest. I'm going to train like I've never trained before, and whatever my coach sets me, I'm going to do. Over the winter time, I'm just going to enjoy some cross-country races and, yeah, getting the speed back into my legs again. Running's a funny old thing. Like yesterday I done a cross-country race and absolutely died a mile in. My heart rate was through the roof. I took a stitch like I've never had before. I went out the first mile on a 6:40 and then took a stitch, and I had to go slow down to 8-minute mile. It was just horrendous. I felt so bad and was doubting everything, like my training and all the rest of it. 24 hours later, which was this morning, and felt great. I'd done 10 times 90 seconds at 5:30, 5:40 pace, and actually felt great. And then put in a 6:30 mile and a 6:45 mile running back to the car and felt absolutely brilliant. I could have kept running at that pace, so that was only 24 hours ago. I don't know. Your body, you have to listen to your body, and what I've realised is that you can train for 3 or 4 months and then hit a marathon and feel bad. Maybe some of that is in my head and I shouldn't let those negative things come in, but you know yourself, whenever you start running, sometimes you just feel horrendous and you have to either stop or just slow down. I've experienced that a number of times, and I really hope that I don't experience that come spring next year, because I really want to break that sub 3. That would be breaking sub 3 within 4 years of starting running, which would be a real sense. I would feel like a real sense of achievement, and I'd be, you know, proud of myself for doing that. I don't want to stop there though. I want to keep going. Like, I'm 42 now. I've plenty of years of running left. I believe I've got plenty of years left of improving, and I just, like, to me the sky's the limit, really. I just want to see how fast I can get. And yeah, I'm going to document my journey here on YouTube, really trying to grow this channel, and I'm enjoying doing that. So thank you so much for watching another video. If you could please subscribe to my channel, and if you could give me a thumbs up and leave a comment below if you have something to say. If not, don't worry, and I'll see you next time.